Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson, and today is day 14 of our Lord's Way to Wealth 21-day challenge. And today, as you probably noticed in the description, what I want to talk about is your needs coming first. And I know that sounds like maybe a little bit selfish, and you're like, how can that be part of the Lord's Way to Wealth? Aren't we supposed to like serve others first? But and I know that you probably all had situations where you felt depleted because you served so much and you had to then go back and fill your cup up. We talked a little bit yesterday about how when you give, to make sure that you're giving in a way that you're actually receiving at the same time, and then you never get depleted. You never have to fill up your cup again because your cup is always full to overflowing. It's part of that Christ, when he talks about living water, where you never thirst again, then that's the type of life that you begin to lead when you give in a way that you're actually receiving at the same time. And today's Facebook Live video is kind of a continuation of that, a slightly different take on it. It's knowing that your creations are critical to the success of the whole. And this really boils down to you just knowing your own true value and worth, and what the piece that you bring to the table. There's something, if you're listening to this, if you're in this 21-day challenge, I know that you have a purpose and you have a mission to accomplish while you're here on the earth. And I'm here to tell you that your mission and purpose is critical to the success of God's mission and purpose, for all of his family to be able to return to home to him. And there are certain people that only you can touch. And so because of that, it is critical that you focus on your creation, focus on the things that are important for you to do, so that these people that you get to serve will actually have a great experience and be able to return home. So you focusing on your needs, your creation, that is super important to the final outcome that God is really wanting. There is a kind of a rule or a policy that I adopted a while back, and that was to never do for others at the expense of myself. And I have to admit that I've actually fallen into that kind of trap of doing for others at the expense of myself these last few weeks. And I had to make some changes this morning in my schedule, so that moving forward I can get myself back centered, because I was feeling like my cup was getting depleted. So just know that I recognize that, getting back centered, getting things all back on track. That's why I had wet hair yesterday, overcommitting myself. So it's super important that you don't serve others at the expense of yourself, that make sure that your needs come first. And just kind of a test of this, or whatever, I don't know what to call it, but I've noticed that if I see something in somebody else, like if I see that somebody else has a need, if I'm like, oh, that person should, then it's usually because it's something that I recognize within myself, but I'm not willing to address it in myself. It's like, I want to help that person to fix it because I can see that there's a problem, but really that person is just being a mirror for me, and there's something within myself that I need to change, that I need to fix, and I just haven't been willing to take the time to do that. So even with that, with this mirroring concept that I've talked about in other videos past, and my clients all know about this mirroring concept, that if, we always want to help other people, but there is always one more thing that we can add to our plate. We definitely can do that. We can continue to add, but pretty soon helping others then becomes a drudgery, because it's not serving us at the same time. So it's important that we take care of ourselves first, make sure that we know what is important for us to, the way that we need to live our lives, so that we're going to be able to accomplish our purpose and fulfill our mission here on earth, because that in turn empowers us to be able to serve others in a higher way that isn't depleting. So hopefully this all makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. I'm having a little bit of a struggle getting it across to you. But basically what I'm saying is make sure that you know what you need and get those needs taken care of first, because when you do that, when you fulfill your creation, then that is going to free you, and you're going to have plenty of energy, plenty of money, plenty of time to be able to serve other people the way that you want to. And I'm going to be sending a follow-up email out to all those who are registered for the Lord's Way to Wealth 21-day challenge. So if you're not registered, make sure that you get registered. One of the things I'm going to be sending you is a short video that I pulled actually out of the Lord's Way to Wealth online course. I felt like this was important enough that I actually went to the course. This is the first time I've actually gone into the course to pull some content out of there to be able to share with you guys. Everything else that I've shared for this first 2 weeks of our 21-day challenge has all been just what I've been inspired to share today. And this was a subject that I felt like, there's a lot of counterfeits to this. There's a lot of counterfeits of, oh, I don't want to put my needs first because I, will feel selfish, or I should be, putting other people first. You really, anyway, I've said enough. So I'm going to be sending that follow-up email out. And there is going to be a video there from the Lord's Way to Wealth online course. So you'll get just like a tiny, I think it's only like a 3-minute video. So you'll get just a little tiny peek at something that's in that course, and with a challenge. And then we will be back together tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And I'll have another thing to share with you on the Lord's Way to Wealth and preparing you for that personal witness when that time comes, that trial of your faith comes. You will have all the foundational principles you need to have that personal witness, that when you have eyes on Christ, you have the power to calm every storm. Thank you.